Welcome everybody. Welcome back. Monica here, and Angie Berrett. We are here for the Wellbeing Mastery show. You know that we are going strong. We have 13, yay, it's strong. There's 13 days of amazing speakers. We started on Tuesday and we're going on the whole next week. So I am hoping that you're enjoying the show. Give me your feedback. Tell me what you most enjoy, what you've learned. If you haven't signed up yet, well, high time, but you can still receive the interviews. You can still sign up. I'm going to put the link in the comments for everybody so that you can just jump in and sign up. It's super easy. It's simple. All it takes is just put your email, so you get all the videos in the email every day, and it is completely free. And we're talking about how to reclaim your true health and abundant energy and feel great in your body. And who doesn't want that? Well, I think everybody. Well, so I have Angie Berrett again with me because she's sharing her awesome work with us, and she agreed to come on again and give us a little bit of practice, a little bit of how to get into the body. So Angie, welcome. Tell us about who you are, where you're from, what you're doing.
Thanks, Monica. I am so excited to be here, everybody, and I hope that you are enjoying the show. The speakers are phenomenal, and Monica has done an amazing job. So I hope that you all are getting the benefit from it. So I'm Angie Berrett, and my pronouns are she or they. And I am an intuitive movement coach. I'm a trauma-informed yoga instructor. I'm a registered nurse, and I'm also a child abuse survivor. And so I help people use movement to release stress, anxiety, tension, depression, and trauma from their bodies so that they can live more fulfilling, happy, and joyful lives. And I do things a little bit differently than most people who use movement. I have taught yoga for a number of years. And pardon me, as I was on my journey healing from my own child abuse, movement actually became really uncomfortable for me. It was really important. I needed it. And it became, I used the description, I wanted to peel my skin off doing any type of movement. It was so uncomfortable. So learning how to sit in those uncomfortable sensations was a challenge for me. And I even got to the point where I just stopped practicing yoga because it was just too much. And so I worked through that and discovered a way of helping people move by learning how to navigate or understand what your body is telling you rather than what your mind is telling you. Our mind oftentimes gives us faulty interpretation of the information that our body's receiving. And so by actually learning how to listen to our bodies, we're able to release a lot of this tension, depression, trauma, stuff that creates pain, anxiety, overwhelm, and darkness. I called mine a black hole of darkness. And so I use a lot of play. I use a lot of fun as ways to help people learn how to sit in their bodies, or to even be in that discomfort of starting to investigate what is your body trying to tell you so that you can then release it and no longer hold on to it.
Yes, that is very powerful because we have to, we try sometimes to skip on the surface and just go into feeling good from being, having spent time living in a post-trauma and where our bodies are really not functioning well. Well, like my mentor told me, I remember when I first asked him the question about how do I deal with all those emotions? He said, well, the only way out is the way through. It stuck with me for like 11, 12 years now. And I always remind that myself, because if we avoid the feelings of negativity, darkness, pain, they're just going to persist. We have to feel it.
And that's some of what I teach. So when you watch my interview, we'll talk about that because I go into the nervous system.
Yes.
all of that stuff is really our body's way of trying to protect us from being hurt. And so if we can learn what our body's telling us and instead meet its needs in another way, then that can release a whole lot of stuff that we're holding on in here. So movement is actually a really powerful way to do that, because when and I talk about this in my lecture, so I'm only going to go into this really briefly, but when our nervous system gets activated, so we go into our fear center or fight or flight, and that's what happens a lot. And I talk about that in my interview, what that is. When we go into that fight or flight system, our body's actually producing energy. So it's creating the ability for us to run or to get away. And so we need a way to release that energy, and movement is a great way of doing that. The example I give is, think of you're driving in a car and you almost get in a car accident, but you don't. And so think of what happens. Your heart starts beating faster. Maybe your breath is faster. You clench your shoulders. And what do most of us do? We kind of stuff it down and we keep driving. And so instead, if we were to just kind of shake it out, release it out, then that's not stored inside our body. So that's what we're going to do today.
Yay, shake it out, baby.
I love, in fact, I say all the time, and some of my regular students laugh about this because this is one of my favorite sayings, is the more wiggle and jiggle you get, the better. So it's all about trying to shake it out. So if you're ready, I've got some for us today.
Okay, are we going to stand up?
You can do this. I was just about to say you can do it seated. You can do it standing. Let me just make sure the camera.
Let's try standing. Okay.
And so for those of you that are watching, really you can do it both, whichever way works best for you. One of my mentors loved to do movement rolling around on the floor. So it really is about exploring what is best in your body.
Yes.
I'm going to move back and forth between the chair and standing so you can see what it looks like. So bring your feet to a comfortable distance apart, maybe bend your knees a little bit, and then just maybe kind of start bouncing. And then maybe add a sway, so starting to rock side to side, and start to notice as you do this little bouncing, what's starting to get activated. So maybe
feeling the back of my head.
The back of your head. Okay, so is it a tightness, or is it, explore, what does it feel like? Is it more a releasing? Is it a tightness?
I kind of realized that like the back of my head and my neck is sort of numb.
Is okay, absolutely great. So then maybe try rolling your shoulders, adding a shoulder roll into this. And so as you do that, check in, notice what's happening with your heart rate. Maybe wiggle your toes. It's starting to increase because we're getting some of that movement, right? And then shake it out. Get that wiggle.
There we go.
Get that jiggle. Yes. Shake it. Woo.
Woo! Shake it out. That's fun. All right. Shimmy, shimmy.
Monica, I got some movement for you today with that. Woo. So bring your feet back, and now just maybe add the sway in. Maybe notice the difference between not having the bounce, but just adding more of kind of, think of like a wave.
Yeah, that feels very soothing to me.
Yeah, so notice the difference in the body. Maybe are your shoulders relaxing? Maybe does your belly unclench? A lot of times we hold tension in our gut, so like our intestines twist. So maybe notice, do you feel a little more relaxed in your stomach?
Now I wanted to take a deep breath. I realized I wasn't breathing.
A lot of times as we move into this relaxed state, people will yawn, or maybe you'll hear your stomach gurgle. So just notice if you feel any of these things happening as we do this different movement.
Yeah.
And so notice how you move really can change what's happening internally. So then shake it out. Get that wiggle, get that jiggle, maybe roll your shoulders. Okay, so now we're going to come into one that I like to call roller skating octopus. So we're going to imagine, like I said, I love
hilarious.
So imagine you're an octopus. You have 8 arms and legs, no bones, and each one of your arms or legs has roller skates or shoes with wheels on it. So
right.
how would your body move if you were an octopus on roller skates?
Woo! It's a little dizzy.
Well, yeah, if you're seated, it's the same thing. Like, where would your extra arms be? Where would your extra legs be? So yeah, notice how that feels. And if you do that, notice how that feels to just be playful, to be silly. That might be uncomfortable. Now, come back and imagine that you're a sea creature just floating in the water. The water's supporting you. The water's holding you. All of your needs are being met. How would your body move if you were just completely supported? So checking in, notice, did roller skating octopus feel really uncomfortable? Maybe it didn't feel uncomfortable. Maybe it just made your heart rate fast. Totally fine. And now notice, maybe as you're breathing deepening, maybe what is your heart rate doing? Notice, maybe does your body have a little more openness, more fluid?
Yeah, now I see my arms just wanted to open up suddenly. Like
I noticed
really
that. Yeah, your arms
yeah.
are getting bigger. So now we're going to cycle through that maybe 2 more times. The roller skating octopus versus the sea floating. So whenever you're ready, roller skating octopus. Woo! Get it out. Yes. How would it feel to be able or to have no support and just to be as silly as you want? Let it go. Be as silly. Yes, yes. And then when you're ready, so maybe in 3, 2, 1, come back to the sea creature, just float in the water. I always think of like a sea cucumber or a sea anemone. Maybe what would you want to be?
An urchin.
Beautiful. Let the current take you. And as you do that, notice, maybe can some tension release out into the water?
Yeah, actually, I could visualize that seeping out, like sort of yellow color seeping out of my body.
Amazing. Yeah, just let the water take it.
It's like
that sense of support, that sense of feeling surrounded and cared for. And check in, notice maybe how's your body feeling now?
More expansive. I feel like I have more space in my body.
Yeah, so doing this fast, more openness. Yeah,
yes.
more area that you're aware of.
Yes.
So by doing the faster movement, getting some of that tension out and then coming back into this more supportive movement is actually really healing for our bodies. So when you're ready, coming back into roller skating octopus. Woo! Yes, notice. Maybe do you feel more comfortable being more crazy, more silly, letting it be out? Yes, beautiful.
There we go. Oh my God, my arms are playing.
So doing this for maybe about 3, 2, 1. And then come back to your sea urchin, your sea creature, whatever it is, just floating in the water. And this time, notice maybe can you let some more tension out?
Yeah, I feel like that back of my neck is really just lightening up.
Fantastic. So numbness or tingling, that can be a sign that you're holding tension there. So maybe even just try rotating your head. Noticing, does that actually help to let, as you're moving in this supportive water, can that help to release tension? Yeah.
And then, yeah, I wanted to take a deep breath in there too.
Take a deep breath. Yes, do what your body wants. That's what it's about, is learning. When your body wants to do something, even if you don't know what it wants to do, just let it do it. Yeah, beautiful. So doing this for maybe a count of about 3, 2, Feel that last support, that last warmth, envelopment. 1. Beautiful. And then as dramatically as you want, maybe bring your arms down by your side. Maybe make some stretching if you want. And then shake it out. Shake out your arms. Shake out your legs. Yes, get that wiggle, get that jiggle. Whew. Now, bring your feet back to that comfortable distance apart.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a slight bend in your knees. And now come back to the side-to-side sway. Check in. Maybe bring some awareness to what's happening in here now. Maybe looking around your space, looking to see if there's something in there. You can do it lots of different ways. Maybe look for a certain color, something to help anchor you back. I like to look for the rainbow colors in my room. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. So just start to bring yourself back into your body. Maybe try wiggling your toes. Wiggle your fingers. And notice, maybe has something shifted inside for you. Maybe it hasn't, and that's totally fine. If it has, that's totally fine.
Well, I feel more expansive. Like I have more space, like I'm more connected out into my environment.
Excellent.
Noticing, I just started to smell my flowers. Like I realized I wasn't smelling my flowers, and they do smell beautiful. So that was like just came up for me.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So bringing more of the body, more of the awareness of our brain into what's happening in our body can actually heighten other senses as well as release that tension. So then shake it out, everybody. One more time. Get that wiggle, get that jiggle. Beautiful. And then
all right.
That is my movement practice for today. Does anybody have any questions? Definitely please drop them in the comments. Let me know what you thought of that, because that is one of my favorite movements to do.
Yeah, this was fantastic. You know what I loved about it is that transition between different movements where you are, fast and active, and then you just go right into that relaxation. I think this is so powerful,
Well, what that does is that actually helps to train us to be able to go through the different nervous system states. So when we get activated into our fight or flight, it becomes easier the more we practice moving in between the two to bring ourselves out of it in stressful situations.
Right. So say like I don't know, somebody cuts you in traffic or something happens and you're just like, oh, you can actually, your nervous system is trained so you can go back into like, okay, well, no big deal. Nothing happened. I can just relax and just keep on driving.
Absolutely.
Right. And not just get enraged, because then it becomes like a spiral, right?
It does. And it gets easier and easier. And it takes more and more fight or flight, or it takes more energy to get you into that spot where you can't come out of it, which means you have a whole lot more energy that you're not spending switching back and forth between your nervous system states.
So we can use our energy actually to smell the flowers.
Exactly. Yes.
Oh, wow. Well, that was great. I absolutely love that. Yes, please give us comments, feedback of everybody who's watched that. Let us know how it felt to you. What did you experience? How did that shift your state?
Yes.
Yeah. Beautiful, Angie.
I love hearing how that worked. And if that didn't work for you, I love hearing that too, because that's the one thing that I do want to say is everybody's nervous system is different. And so if that didn't work for you, that doesn't mean there's anything wrong. It just means that didn't work for your nervous system.
Then we just got to brainstorm. It's like, what's behind it? And maybe there is trauma. Maybe there is something that actually makes it really hard for us to move, like you started with this, conversation with, talking about.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. So this was fantastic. Thank you so much, Angie. Wow. I feel so much more open right now.
I'm so glad. Thanks, Monica.
Yay, so beautiful. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Again, I'm going to put the link to the show because you can still sign up, and you're going to get the full presentation from Angie, so that you can learn again how to shift, how to be more expansive, how to be healthier, and how to train your nervous system to serve you and not make it hard for you. Okay, beautiful. Thank you, Angie. Thank you, everybody. We'll talk with you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.